we have a crazy market right now. Some giving you an idea that it's going to go down and some showing it's going to go up. What is it going to be? Now, you can make your own decision here, but look at this chart here. This is a Bitcoin chart on a 3-day, and at least for me, looks like, okay, there is a possibility that it can be a double bottom. There is a possibility in the RSI and MACD that this can be a double bottom. So Bitcoin broke higher, it's coming back. What if it bounces from the retest? But that's not the interesting part here. The interesting part here is XRP. Look at the chart of XRP. This is a daily chart of XRP. You're looking at last 400 days and you get a lot of similarity with what happened here. Now that's how I called, okay, we would be dropping to 0.78 when we were at 0.83. Now I was expecting this one. Now we are bouncing from there slowly. Yes, there is a possibility we may have this breakout, then a move higher. Look at the MACD, RSI, both of it giving you the same idea. There is a double bottom here and on a trend line, textbook double bottom, and then you showed that no, I'm going to cross to the downside, but it bounced. So we are at a similar point. That's a decision point. So we don't have a confirmation yet, but if we get a bounce from there, that's bullish. Look at the RSI. It's also showing you the same. Now this chart was made yesterday, right? So we didn't have that price bounce to the upside, but at the same time, when we were around that 0.79, I put this chart out saying, okay, we are here at the bounce and we are slowly going to reach this resistance and slow down. So right now, if you look at that chart, yes, you bounced, you reached that resistance and you're slowing down. So there is a possibility that you are going to come back down to that support. But this change is not only technical. This change in the market is also fundamental. Because you can see SEC is cornering themselves. They are hitting the self goals here. If you look at this clearly, you will understand like, okay, they were previously clearly stating you. That's just Hinman's personal opinion. You don't have to worry about it. It's just him, not the department. And right now it's all changing. They're like, no, that's a decision which he led, right? He led corporate finance department. So the opinion is, or the statement is from that department which he led. That means SEC has officially gone rogue. That is for sure in my opinion, because I'm looking at this and like, okay, look at the confidence in Brad Garlinger's tweet. When he's tweeting this one out with that level of confidence, understand things are going to change. And when you're looking at a lot of different stuff, you also do have to understand how things are changing. Say Twitter support put this tweet out, right? There is something fundamental which I think is happening. So yeah, they are adding all that stuff for your Ethereum wallet, blah, 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 using Flutter Wave, Paytm and others. So you look at Paytm and I'm looking at, okay, India. Fine. So now Indian market is actually going towards crypto. Great. And then you come look at Flutter Wave. What's it? This is in 2018. You see, they had a partnership with Ripple's co-infrastructure. Then now a little bit newer one. Last year, 2021, Ripple partner Flutter Wave joins forces with PayPal. So they were still a partner and they are expanding. So now you look at the ability of Flutter Wave as a payment institution with this technology on. That is massive. So when you actually see all these kind of news, you need to understand, okay, things are changing and things are changing for the best. Because if you're an XRP investor, you have been here for some time and you're like, okay, the price is not doing anything. What should I be looking at? You have a lot of steps to actually keep yourself relaxed, calm on that phase, but we are still waiting for a breakout here. This is XRP BTC on a 3-day. We still have not broken higher. Look at the resistance. We are still below that in the RSI. MACD has not gone parabolic. So we still have a probability we may come back down. Now, if this breaks, that's super bullish. You're going to directly go towards $1 and then continue higher from that. Why do I say that? You can always go look at Google. Google Baba gives you the help. So you look at this. You have your impulse to this direction. You have this bullish pennant, and then you go back up. But after you break, you come back to retest and then bounce. Right? Most of the time in history that happens. So if you look at that, you will have an idea about what is happening in XRP price. This is so easy. You go in, you put the measurement, you extend it, and you're like, okay, if we break higher, this is the outcome. But most likely, we may go down and bounce and come back and then break higher. But the only stuff saying opposite is the RSI. Look at the RSI. It's showing you that we are going to break out. So if we break out and XRP continues to run to the upside, you're going to see a massive change here in the coin entirely. Because if you are looking at that, money is being moved there. Volume is increasing super crazy because I've been watching this from the morning. See, it was like 145, then 150 million. Now it's 178, close to 180 million in buy and 158 million in sell. Whereas the daily volume is 2 billion. So it's slowly increasing, and that's all showing you people are getting more and more into this, watching how the fundamentals are changing, because this are all going on Ripple's favor. Don't get confused with the news, because some kind of highlights, okay, this is going towards this one. What does it mean? It doesn't mean anything bad. It's only strengthening Ripple's case, Ripple's point of view here. So let's dig deep through this one and the charts. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. Now, we do understand that there is a change in the market. The marketplace actually shows you what it wants. And if the market as a whole wants it for the benefit of the majority, then we are going to get it. Look at this one. This is clearly showing you the truth is out for everyone to read. Now, that is solid statement, right? That kind of clears out everything. Then what we see is that the SEC waited 8 years to decide they disagreed with this analysis, decimating thousands and thousands of XRP holders. Now, all of this is happening at the moment. You need to understand that. So the conclusion of these now public 2012 memos is clear. XRP do not constitute securities. So that is a fact, and it's clear. Now, continuing, Stuart actually give you this. The fact that Ripple had the foresight to seek legal advice from a prominent firm back in 2012 when, SEC was, anyway, even now they are sleeping. But back then, they should be sleeping. So in the absence of a clear case of law and 5 years before the SEC even started talking about digital assets, that should be applauded, and we agreed with that completely. And that's why when we move on and we look at the news, the media, and all of them are getting to this, it's clear, SEC and Ether Foundation, there is something wrong there. Anyone with a proper nose can smell that. It's easy, right? That's why I usually say, if they are idiots, they are only going to do idiotic stuffs, right? So I consider SEC in this particular term in that one, because what they are doing right now, going against what they have told to the court before, that's stupidity. And what is happening when that kind of fundamental event is changing? Meaning that now we all know it's not a security. It's considered as a security only in the United States. So outside the world, it's a digital asset. It's a utility token, right? So now, when there is going to be a clarity, we are close to the end of the tunnel and we can see the light, that means people are buying in more. XRP faces second largest accumulation phase in XRP's history, as whales grabbed 900 million XRP. That's not a small stuff. Understand, in the last 5 years, this has been the second largest one. So when you go back into the price, you will also be able to clearly see that last 5 years means we had a long way to go. Look at the price history and you will be able to clearly see one stuff. That means those who didn't buy here, or those who bought in here during the accumulation zone, are also now buying back. So they think this is just a reaccumulation. Now, keep this clear and easy. You always have an accumulation phase and then a reaccumulation phase, major phase, where you buy this and hold and then the price skyrockets. So are you in that zone or are you not? That's as easy as that. If you want to buy in, hold, great. If you don't want, fine. You don't have to even continue watching this video, because we focus on this asset, knowing the fundamental of this asset. Right now, you look at different sides of this, you will get that there is a possibility that Coinbase is going to relist, right? If they are going to relist XRP, that is going to show you there are things changing. But, it's Coinbase, right? They have always stood against XRP from the beginning. So I'm like, nah. Unless they don't have a clarity on the paper, they may not actually do that. But believe me, once they does that and XRP skyrocket before that, most of the XRP holders who are going to be the millionaires at that time are going to move out of that exchange for sure, right? And that if that happens, they are making that big mistakes. Now, the adoption side of this, the crypto payments and all are really interesting, and that's why I show you the partnership of Ripple and Flutterwave. They are into this massively, and as this works, the network effect is super, super big. Because right now, your partnership is going through continents, through different type of payment networks, and that's why you need to have clarity. Because right now, the only thing limiting ILP, the Intelligent Protocol, going into the biggest economy in the world is this stuff. SEC is not giving you the proper clarity. Right now, you look at the price. You can understand, okay, this is going to happen. And what is this? This is a bullish pennant. So the price is going to continue higher. So those people who are going to miss this, saying, no, we are going to go back to that 3.5 area, they're going to come back buying at $1 or higher. Now, as we go and breach $2 mark, $3 mark, people are going to go crazy. They're going to come back in, selling all of the assets they have, because there is a potential that this asset can continue higher when the market is slowing down. Why? That's a fundamental change. Technically, it's being supported. We are always on this red line. It's not the red line here. It's this black line. So it's also acting as a trend line support. Now, you can actually draw like two trend lines there. If I'm putting this one, it will look like this. Say you have one which is closely followed, which you broke below. Now you have another one. If you are, staying stable and following all this, you still get to see this. So now you're bouncing back. You need to get back above that $0.9 mark. But once you do that with this break here, the bullish pennant, you are above that, meaning you are back into that trend which you started from 2020. That is bullish, isn't it? If you don't feel so, it's completely fine, because that's your opinion, your money, your portfolio. But right now, it's a decision point where the fundamental and the technical is going to align, and we are going to go higher. Now, as far as Bitcoin is concerned, I know people are talking different stuff. Each one has their own opinion, and I also have mine. It's so easy for every one of us to identify this. Say you may have or seen this. The same people talking about this particular stuff, the head and shoulder, before it happened, right? In this time frame, if your favorite YouTuber is something big, fine, go listen to them and look what they were talking back here in June to July. Then go look at the textbooks. The books and patterns are there from a long time, not only in this asset. So you got this head and shoulder which was invalidated here, right? So now you go look at invalidated head and shoulders, which is so easy. You go to Google, you look at the images. One thing for me is sure, even if I as a human being is wrong, it's completely fine with me. Why? Because the history shows you that this kind of stuff happens again and again. There is a possibility that this can be happening right now in this cryptocurrency space. So now this is not just me highlighting there is a possibility like this, right? This is from Japan, right? Back in 2018, you actually got this. You had a head and shoulder which was invalidated, and the price went higher. It hit your target easily, there is no doubt. Now, understand this is from Japan on the technology sector. Then you move on to another one. So here you are looking at the Norway, and you get the same stuff. So, it's not just happening in one asset class, in one country. It's happening all over the place. You go this one, this is South Africa, and you're getting the same stuff again. Now, if you go through, you will have a lot of this happening, because I've personally seen that in US, Yeah, I've seen that in Spain. I've seen that in different asset class, and the way charts which I was discussing to my members, where we have actually seen cases which exactly looks similar to what we have now in Bitcoin. So we can't completely neglect that possibility, saying okay, Bitcoin is not going higher. So in technical, based on books, what you are going to look at is like, if this is happening, that means you take it from the neckline to the upside and you see somewhere around 110, 115% to the upside. You take it from the break and plot it to the upside. So you come somewhere close towards that $90,000 mark as your target. So that is still there. Unless you go below this level, say you can take now Bitcoin or crypto, it's so volatile. So this kind of is your neckline where you were getting supported bounce. So you stay above this bounce here, that's great. Now if you go below this and close and continue, that's being invalidated. But as of now, looking at this trend line which you broke to the upside, the Bitcoin, that means a retest and a bounce is still there. It's a huge possibility. So if you're going against the market, it's up to you. But understand this, we have been in this space and in this movement for last 300 days. In this range, Ether is being fluctuated there. And it still feels like, okay, the resistance kicked the price down and you are in the intermediate level. You may still have a possibility to go visit this range. But we saw massive buying pressure here. So if we are moving to this range, I think price is going to be held there. Why? Because a lot of buyers are going to come in because they really don't understand much. New guys, right? They go look at this one and they're like, okay, it's Ethereum. It's going to be the biggest stuff. Great. It's up to you. Now, they are talking about moving from Ether 1 to Ether 2.0 from a long time, and it's still not happening. So in that sense, if you are looking at this market, then XRP is your best choice. Look at the rate of adoption you have. Look at the rate of utility sales. Look at how it is performing year over year, right? You look at this from last 5 years, you understand what the price fluctuation has been. So now, if you are an investor who has time and patience, that means you're going to make a lot of money here when you go parabolic. If not, that's completely up to you. You can look at the chart after a year or two when the price is at the sky high and say, I regret my decision. So that's completely up to you. So guys, if you received value for your time, please do hit that like and subscribe button. That supports the channel a lot. And if you want these kind of updates when I post about, okay, I think this is going to happen, you can follow the Patreon. The link is given in the description below, where you get updates for all of these assets which you have in your portfolio. So guys, I'll meet you on the next video. Bye for now.